few weeks ago, I got a CT scan, and what it revealed, I want to talk about today. Now, I've been living in the Philippines for a number of years now, and some of you that have been following from the beginning know that one of the reasons we made the move here to the Philippines was, and one of the big reasons was that I had cancer back in America. I went through the fight, I came out the other side, and for 6 years, I've been cancer free. So when I started noticing some things with my body, some things that felt familiar, I didn't ignore them this time. I went and got a scan. And I want to share with you what I found, what I'm doing about it, and why I'm sitting here talking to you right now instead of falling apart, because I'm not falling apart. So let me take it back a little bit first. Now, when I first mentioned this on the channel that I had cancer, I framed it as something that was already behind me. I was in remission at the time. It had already happened. And one of the things that came out of the whole experience, one of the major things, was the decision to move here to the Philippines. Now, obviously, my wife is Filipina, her family is here. And when you're facing something like cancer, when you're genuinely staring at the possibility that things might not go the way you hope, your priorities get very clear very fast. And I wanted her to be home. I wanted her to be with her family. In case something happened to me, I didn't want her to be alone in America. That decision changed everything, not just for her, for me too. Coming here gave me a different kind of life, simpler, more connected, and honestly, more aligned with the direction I felt I was supposed to be going. So that's the backdrop. Cancer came once, it shifted everything, and here I am 6 years later, and the scan has found something again. I want to be honest about that without making it something it's not. I have a tumor in my chest, in the same general region as the first time. There are also some spurs on my spine that appear to be related. Those are contributing to some back discomfort I've been feeling. But here's what's important. My organs are in good shape. My blood work came back good. Few levels slightly elevated, but nothing alarming. The picture isn't a disaster. I caught this early, and I know I caught it early because I've been here before, and I recognized what I was feeling. I want to talk about the symptoms because I think this matters, especially if someone is watching this and ignoring something they probably shouldn't be ignoring. The first thing that I noticed was back discomfort. Not pain exactly, more of a persistent discomfort that I could only relieve by laying down with a small pillow, kind of positioned in a specific way about this level in my back. It wasn't debilitating. It was the kind of thing that it was easy to explain away, really. It's just kind of easy to ignore. And I know that because I ignored something very similar the first time around. Back when I was going through this the first time, before I even had a diagnosis, I was seeing a chiropractor for similar back discomfort. And she mentioned that one of my vertebrae was out of alignment. And at the time, I just filed it away as just a little back issue, no big deal. It didn't mean much to me right then, but later, after the diagnosis, after everything became clear, I understood that what she was seeing and what was happening in my chest were connected. The tumor was already there. The back was already responding to it. So this time, when that same kind of discomfort came back, I didn't explain it away. I knew what it could mean. And that history made this symptom loud. The second thing, and this really got my attention, I had some difficulty swallowing. Not every time, but enough that I noticed it. The first tumor had crushed my vagus nerve right in here and left me with a paralyzed vocal cord. And that damage never fully went away. It's affected my voice even to this day. So when the swallowing issue showed up this time, I knew exactly what was behind it. The same nerve, the same area, the same story starting again. Experience is a teacher. I went and got the scan, and the scan confirmed what I had suspected. Now, here's something I want to mention because it's been significant for me. Both of those symptoms have already shown improvement just from really eliminating sugar. I'm only a few weeks into the protocol and I'm already seeing improvement in how I feel. That tells me something. And I'll come back to why that matters in a few minutes. But first, I want to talk about sugar because most people have no idea why or I should say what they're dealing with when they put sugar in their body while fighting something like this. Now, the CT scan revealed a fairly significant tumor in my chest and spurs along my spine in the surrounding area that are obviously connected to it. Now, that's the hard part of the news. And here's the rest of it. And, I want to be clear because this matters. My organs are in good shape. And considering that this had time to develop and the organs look good, and honestly, my blood work is decent, other than a few slightly elevated levels, things are looking fairly positive. I caught this early enough, and I caught it because I paid attention to what my body was telling me, because I'd been through it before and I knew what to look for. If there's one thing I want anyone watching this to take away from this part of the video, it's this. Don't ignore what your body is telling you. Don't explain it away. Get the scan, get the checkup, go see the doctor, get the information. Early information is everything in a situation like this. I'm not trying to scare anyone. I'm saying it because I know what it looks like to ignore symptoms, and I know what it looks like to act on them. And the difference in the outcome is night and day. Now, I want to talk more about sugar, and I'm going to be direct about this because I think people need to hear it plainly. Sugar feeds cancer. That's not a fringe opinion. That's established science. Cancer cells consume glucose at a rate that's significantly higher than normal cells. When you eat sugar, you're quite literally feeding the thing that's trying to kill you. And I don't just mean candy and sweets. Most people think about sugar and picture like dessert, candy and candy bars, but rice converts to sugar in your body. Bread converts to sugar in your body. Fruits convert to sugar. Most carbohydrates convert to sugar. that bowl of rice that's on the table at every Filipino meal. Your body processes it in the same way it processes a spoonful of sugar. So that's what we're talking about. Not just the obvious stuff, all of it. And then there's the packaged food. Everything that comes in a bag, a box, a wrapper. Look at the ingredients. Preservatives, artificial colors, seed oils, stabilizers, flavor enhancers. The grocery store is full of it. Most of what lines the shelves is loaded with chemicals that your body was never designed to process. And some of them are outright carcinogenic. And people are eating this stuff every single day without even thinking twice about it. If you're fighting cancer or trying to avoid it, packaged and processed foods has to go, all of it. And here's what makes me angry about this. And I say this as someone who's sat in the chair and gone through the conventional treatment. Most oncologists are telling their patients to eat whatever they want or whatever they can. I know people who've been told this, and I myself have been told this. Eat whatever you want. Just get your treatment. You know, I think that it stems from the idea that people are going to have a hard time eating, so just eat, be sure to eat. But this advice isn't helping people. The first time I faced this, I tried to address my diet, but I wasn't disciplined about it. My effort was weak. I made changes, but I didn't fully commit. And ultimately, I ended up going through chemotherapy and radiation. And this time, it's different. I cut sugar completely, not reduced it, eliminated. And as I mentioned a moment ago, my symptoms are already responding. That back discomfort is better. The swallowing difficulty is better. And I'm only a few weeks in. Sugar elimination isn't optional if you're serious about this fight. It's the foundation. You can't build anything on top of a foundation where you're still feeding what you're trying to starve. I'm also eating differently and as a result, eating less. The approach is essentially keto. Low carb, high fat, moderate protein. And when it comes to protein, fish is my only source right now. No beef, no chicken, no other meats. That's a deliberate choice. Beef and chicken naturally contain certain hormones that can promote cell growth. And when you're fighting something that grows, you don't want it to be feeding it. Fish keeps it clean. When you eat this particular way, you naturally eat less. Your body isn't running on sugar spikes and crashes. It's running on fat, which is a cleaner, more stable fuel. You stop being as hungry. The food you do eat is actually doing something. It's benefiting you. That's not a diet. That's a strategy. And I want to be honest about the first time because I think the contrast matters. The first time I tried to fight this on my own with diet and supplements, and my effort wasn't what it needed to be. I wasn't fully committed. I told myself I was doing the work, but I wasn't really doing the work, not at the level that this requires. And I ended up in chemotherapy and radiation. I'm not against conventional medicine across the board. I want to be clear about that. It did what it was supposed to do. I went into remission, 6 years of remission, but I also know what the treatment did to my body. And I know that going through it again isn't the path I'm choosing, especially now when I've caught this early and I have I have real options in front of me. This time I caught it early. That's the significant part. Earlier detection means more time and more options. I'm not backed into a corner. And this time, my discipline is different. The sugar is gone. The food is clean. I'm committed in a way I wasn't committed the first time. That's not wishful thinking. It's a real difference. And I feel it. There's also a doctor here in the Philippines, and I'll talk about him in a moment. His approach resonates with me in a way that conventional treatment never really did. I'll be honest, there are things he's doing that I'm not going to name specifically on this platform, not because I'm hiding anything, but because certain conversations get restricted, if you know what I mean, in ways that don't serve anyone. So what I will say is that it's an alternative approach. It's not new, and the results speak for themselves. If you're in this situation and you want to know more, just reach out to me directly and I'll be happy to share. I've seen things here in the Philippines when it comes to health that have genuinely changed how I think about the body and what it's capable of when you remove the things that are working against it and give it what it needs. I'm not naive. I know what I'm dealing with, but I'm not afraid either. Now, I want to say something here that's not everyone's going to understand, and that's okay. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but I'm not going to skip over it either because it's genuinely part of how I'm approaching this situation in general. And I believe there's a connection I believe there is between the condition of a man's heart and the condition of his body. In Deuteronomy 28, there's a list of blessings and a list of curses, things that come upon a man depending on how he's walking. And when something like this happens, when a tumor shows up, I think the honest and humble response is to stop and ask yourself some questions, not in a spirit of fear or condemnation, but in a spirit of wanting to get things right. I've been doing that examination, and I'm gonna be honest with you about what I found, because I think being real is more useful than pretending I've got everything together. I deal with the root of bitterness. I know it's there. I've known it for a while. My whole adult life, I should say. I deal with pride. I'm not telling you this to be dramatic or perform some kind of public confession. I'm telling you this because I believe in dealing with the whole man, not just the physical symptoms. If there are things in my life that are out of alignment with my faith, I want them corrected as well. Not because I think that alone will fix everything, but because I want to do my full part. I want to show up to this fight with everything I have, including the parts that are harder to look at, quite honestly. That's between me and Yah. But I wanted to name it because I think there's probably someone watching this who needed to hear that it's okay to look honestly at yourself when something hard happens. And quite honestly, you should. A person's heart condition and their wellness are biblically connected, like it or not. I want to talk about the direction I'm going with treatment without getting into specifics. Now, I mentioned there's a doctor here in the Philippines. His name is Dr. Homer Lim, and his approach to health and healing is different from what you'll encounter in conventional Western medical settings. I'm not going to make claims about what his treatment does or doesn't do. That's not my place, and that's not the purpose of this video, really, honestly. What I will tell you is this. I've actually been aware of the protocol he uses for a long time. When I was sick the first time, it was barely being talked about. Only a handful of people were even mentioning it. But since then, it's grown. There are studies now. There's data. The results can't be dismissed the way they once were. And in my view, what's being done with this approach is ahead of what the Western medical system is currently offering for this kind of situation. I genuinely believe people should research it, not take my word for it, but at least know it exists. And as far as I've been able to find, Dr. Lim is the only doctor in the Philippines offering it. That matters if you're here and you're looking for options. Now, I'm not telling anyone what to do. I'm just letting you know what I'm doing. I'm not qualified to give medical advice, and I wouldn't presume to. Every person's situation is different, but if you're watching this and you're in a situation similar to mine, or if someone you love is, and you want to have a conversation about what I'm doing and why, I'm available. I mean that genuinely. Reach out. I'll discuss it with you. No problem, no questions asked. Now, I know cancer has become more common here. I see it. People around me see it. Filipino families are dealing with this at a rate that should concern everyone. And it's the same in America. And the answer that's being offered, the standard answer, isn't always serving people well. I'm not a doctor, I'm not an authority. I'm just a man who's been through this once and is going through it again and is choosing to fight it with everything available to him. To anyone watching this who's facing something similar, whether you're Filipino, whether you're an American, whatever you are, I want you to know that a diagnosis isn't a sentence, it's information. And what you do with that information is still up to you. Don't just hand that decision entirely to someone else without doing your own research, without asking questions, without considering everything that's available to you. I went through this once already, and I'm still here, still building, still fighting, and I've got every intention of coming back to this channel at some point and telling you that the scan came back clear. That's the story I'm writing. That's the outcome I'm working toward. And I believe it's possible. Now, if this video resonated with you, if you're in a situation like this, or someone you love is, reach out to me. Leave a comment, send a message. I'm genuinely available for conversation and encouragement, obviously. I also want to mention, I have an older channel. It's called There Is Hope, It's Not the End. I documented my first cancer journey there. If you want to go back and see where this started, what that fight looked like, it's there for you. Thank you for watching. Take care of your body. Pay attention to what it tells you. Don't be afraid, I should say, to fight. Don't be afraid to fight. Take care. Hey, Joe.